Pizzicato Effect program started up 5 years ago. I went into the program not knowing much about it at all and just thought I would go and teach as I've always taught. I've taught in a lot of big private schools with big programs there, and I just presumed I could do that. So I just marched in and said, right, this is what we're doing, and we're taking this group of children and here's how it goes, and it didn't work at all. We needed to really adjust what we were doing to meet the needs of the children out there, which are quite different.
We have a high unemployment rate in the area. We have generational poverty, a mixture of generational poverty, migrants, refugees and asylum seekers. So we're extremely multicultural. The backgrounds and religious and nationalities backgrounds are enormously different.
So when we've gone in there, we've had to meet all of those differing needs, the children. So we couldn't just go in and presume that they had some basic music education. We couldn't go in and presume that they'd been clapping and singing throughout their kinder years, because a lot of them had missed kinder and came to school with nothing.
It was a very different school to any of the schools I had experience with in Victoria, just in terms of its incredibly diverse ethnically and multiculturally, and it's got a number of challenges that other schools just don't have.
I think the tutors, coming from backgrounds where they can play the classical music as well as they do, they have come from privileged backgrounds, and the giving back, to me, just their moral purpose is so strong and genuine. And I think the authenticity that they provide is just felt with children who have a really good meter at reading people, and they form great relationships with their tutors, and the tutors, they really care about their children.
There's been a real change since we've begun at the Pizzicato Effect, and it's just gained more and more momentum, and I think one of the main things that I can see is that the children are becoming more and more engaged and attached, and it's part of who they are. Lena and I play the violin, it's part of their personality. So there have been a few examples where you can see that both the children and the parents really becoming more and more engaged with what we're doing. Some of it you'll see through, say, some children who might, at school, have a lot of troubles, who might be getting into a lot of trouble at school during lunchtimes and fighting, and yet they'll come into our group and they'll be just perfect, and they'll be happy, and they'll be bubbling away, and they'll be playing the music, and it's hard to believe that they can be totally different elsewhere. You get some of our pilot group, the older children, are now grade 6 going into year 7, and anecdotally the teachers have told us that these children are the leaders now of the school, the leaders of their group. They've got a confidence and a strength that the teachers certainly attribute to being with us.
There is a real improvement we see for students who are learning music as part of the Pizzicato program. The really exciting thing is that we can see patterns of change in students who are learning instruments as part of this program that aren't seen in students who are not learning instruments and not part of the program. So, for example, if I were to show you some slides of the data. So, for example, that non-verbal test where it's just matching, dots on a page. You can see in mid-2012, so instrumental learners who are in the Pizzicato program are marked and represented in orange, and the non-instrumental learners are represented in purple. And you can see at the beginning there is a slight advantage for the instrumental learners, and then over the 11-month period, the advantage is much greater for the students who remain learning an instrument versus those who have essentially never learned. If we look at something that's a little more hot topic, literacy and numeracy, it's always about, does music improve literacy and numeracy skills? You can see again that there was an advantage, but that advantage improved over time compared to students who weren't learning an instrument, who actually declined in their overall reading ability. So the rate of change is different for these two groups over time, and it's different in a way that really is encouraging not just for the Pizzicato Effect, but also for music education programs overall.
Pizzicato means so much to so many on so many levels. The children, they just love it. It's something you have to really experience and speak with children and listen to the children to realise the impact it has on them.